Before discussing this de novo synthesis, let us one more time write the mnemonic. 1, 3, 5, 6, 8 steps requires ATP and the enzyme is synthetase. Next, 2 and 5 requires glutamine. Now the third step requires glycine. Fourth and 10th step requires tetrahydrofolate. Now 7th step requires carbon dioxide. 8th step requires aspartate. First, third, fifth, sixth, eighth requires ATP. Second and fifth requires glutamine. Third step requires glycine. Fourth and 10th step requires tetrahydrofolate. 7th step requires carbon dioxide. 8th step requires aspartate. This is the mnemonic. Now, in this de novo synthesis, the first precursor molecule which is required is ribose 5-phosphate. This ribose 5-phosphate, in this first step, it requires ATP. By utilizing this ATP will get converted into ADP and the enzyme is synthetase. The enzyme is synthetase. Now, in first step, this ribose 5-phosphate will get converted into phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate. Phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate, which shortly written as PRPP. Now, in second step it requires glutamine. Here, the glutamine is an amino acid. Now, this glutamine will transfer its amine group to phosphoribosyl amine, which resulting in the formation of 5-phosphoribosyl amine. This is the second step. Phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate, with the help of glutamine, it will be converted into 5-phosphoribosyl amine. The enzyme which is catalyzing this reaction is glutamine amido transferase. Glutamine amido transferase. Now, in third step, this 5-phosphoribosyl amine, in third step, it requires ATP. And in third step, it requires glycine. Glycine is also an amino acid. This 5-phosphoribosyl amine, by utilizing this ATP with the help of glycine, it resulting in the formation of glycinamide, ribosyl 5-phosphate. Glycinamide ribose 5-phosphate. Now, in fourth step, glycinamide ribose 5-phosphate. In fourth step, with the help of tetrahydrofolate, it will accept the formyl group from tetrahydrofolate, will be resulting in the formation of formyl glycinamide ribose 5-phosphate. Glycinamide ribose 5-phosphate with the help of tetrahydrofolate will be resulting in the formation of formyl glycinamide ribose 5-phosphate. Now, in fifth step, In fifth step we require ATP. This ATP will get converted into ADP, and we also require glutamine. Now, in fifth step, this formyl glycinamide ribose 5-phosphate will get converted into formyl glycinamide ribose 5-phosphate. Formyl glycinamide ribose 5-phosphate will get converted into formyl glycinamide ribose 5-phosphate. Now, in sixth step, we require ATP. This formyl glycinamide ribose 5-phosphate, by utilizing this ATP, will be resulting in the formation of amino imidazole ribose 5-phosphate. In sixth step, this formyl glycinamide ribose 5-phosphate, by utilizing this ATP, will be resulting in the formation of amino imidazole ribose 5-phosphate. Now, in seventh step, it requires carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is added to it, which undergoes carboxylation reaction. Now, this amino imidazole ribose 5-phosphate will get converted into amino imidazole carboxylase ribose 5-phosphate. In seventh step, amino imidazole ribose 5-phosphate, by utilizing this carbon dioxide, this amino imidazole ribose 5-phosphate will get converted into amino imidazole carboxylase ribose 5-phosphate. Now, in eighth step we require aspartate, and in eighth step we also require ATP. And aspartate. Now, with the help of this aspartate, this amino imidazole carboxylase ribose 5-phosphate will get converted into amino imidazole succinyl carboxamide ribose 5-phosphate. Now, here we should notice that this carboxylase will convert it into carboxamide. Amino imidazole carboxylase ribose 5-phosphate will get converted into amino imidazole succinyl carboxamide ribose 5-phosphate. Now, in ninth step, there is nothing required in ninth step, but in ninth step there is a release of fumarate. Now, by releasing this fumarate from this molecule, the compound which is formed is amino imidazole carboxamide ribose 5-phosphate. This is the ninth step. Now, from ninth step, now 10th step is in 10th step we require tetrahydrofolate. With the help of tetrahydrofolate, this amino imidazole carboxamide ribose 5-phosphate will accept the pharmal group, now resulting in the formation of pharmal amido imidazole carboxamide ribose 5-phosphate. Now, this is the 10th step. Now, in 11th step, in 9th step and 11th step we require nothing, but In ninth step, there is a release of water molecule, means it undergoes dehydrogenation reaction. Now it resulting in the formation of inosine monophosphate. This is the final product of this reaction. Now this inosine monophosphate which is formed will be categorized into two forms. One is adenyl succinate, while the other one is xanthine monophosphate. Now this adenyl succinate will get converted into AMP. Xanthine monophosphate will get converted into GMP. Now this AMP will get converted into ADP and next ATP. This GMP will get converted into GDP, next into GTP. This is the final product which is required for purine nucleotide synthesis with de novo synthesis. Once again, this ribose 5-phosphate with the help of ATP will be resulting in the formation of phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate with the help of the enzyme called synthetase. Now, this phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate with the help of glutamine, it will accept the amino group from it and resulting in the formation of 5-phosphoribosyl amine. Now, this 5-phosphoribosyl amine with the help of glycine, it resulting in the formation of glycinamide ribose 5-phosphate. Now, this glycinamide ribose phosphate will accept the pharma group from and it resulting in the formation of pharmyl glycinamide ribose 5-phosphate. Now, this pharmyl glycinamide ribose 5-phosphate will utilize this ATP and resulting in the formation of pharmyl glycinamide ribose 5-phosphate. Now, in sixth step, this pharmyl glycinamide ribose 5-phosphate will be converted into amino imidazole ribose 5-phosphate. Now, in seventh step, there is a requiring of carbon dioxide. Now, by utilizing this carbon dioxide, it will be resulting in the formation of amino imidazole carboxylase ribose 5-phosphate. Now, this amino imidazole carboxylase ribose 5-phosphate with the help of aspartate and ATP will be resulting in the formation of amino imidazole succinyl carboxamide ribose 5-phosphate. Here the carboxylase will be converted into carboxamide, and in ninth step there is a release of fumarate, and it is intermediate step of TCA cycle. Now this amino imidazole succinyl carboxamide ribose 5-phosphate will get converted into amino imidazole carboxamide ribose 5-phosphate. Now this amino imidazole carboxamide ribose 5-phosphate will accept the pharmal group and resulting in the formation of pharmal amino imidazole carboxamide ribose 5-phosphate. Now in 11th step, which resulting in the elimination of water molecule from it and resulting in the formation of IMP. IMP means inosine monophosphate. Now this inosine monophosphate will be formed into two parts. One is adenyl succinate and another is xanthine monophosphate. Now this adenyl succinate will get converted into AMP. Xanthine monophosphate will get converted into GMP, guanosine monophosphate, guanine monophosphate. Now AMP will get converted into ADP, ADP will get converted into ATP, and GMP will get converted into GTP, and GDP will get converted into GTP. Now coming to the Now the next topic is purine degradation. Purine degradation. First of all, the final product of purine degradation is uric acid. Now, when we consider AMP, inosine monophosphate, and GMP. Now with the help of nucleotidase, with the help of the enzyme called nucleotidase, this AMP will get converted into adenine, and inosine will get converted into inosine, and GMP will get converted into guanine. Now this inosine will get converted into hypoxanthine. Now this hypoxanthine will get converted into xanthine with the help of the enzyme called xanthine oxidase.